back many months ago. It was the summer of 2023. And I'm with my grandparents trying to make this course for the channel, for the boys, to help them and to get some money online to start doing that. But I can just not seem to focus on getting the course done. The course was already filmed. I just now needed to find somehow a way to post it. It was so weird and so mind consuming because I didn't find the right platform that I could afford that I could let me keep the course. And so I wanted to work to do the work, but my mind just constantly was telling me, man, don't do this. We might increase the eating time and the learning time. We might maybe just spend more time outside. Just don't spend time on this, man. And these voices in the mind is just they just try to make me not do the work. And that's the problem that we got to change. So in this video you will see an amazing way to fight off resistance and to become that the mind tells you, gives you, and to do the work so that you achieve the result you want. This video is inspired by Charlie Morgan, but man, I figured out this is such a good idea I want to share with you. So basically, the way we do this is trial by fire. So we have here your, let's say this is your current self. And I'm not sure exactly how your desired self looks, but let's just say desired self. And guess what, bro? Many people think it's just a straight line of, oh, I go from this guy to this guy. But it doesn't really work that way because it's not that simple. What the reality actually is that here, instead of just an arrow, we have a wall of fire, which obviously is painful. And the reason why there is a wall of fire is because the God gives you, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, gives you tests to see if you deserve to become this version of yourself. And not just that, your current self also doesn't want to change. He wants to stay in comfort. He wants to survive. But in order to become this guy, we need to kill, metaphorically speaking, this guy. Obviously, don't kill yourself physically. That's not what I mean. What I mean is kill your current self metaphorically so that you become this new one, because you cannot be both at the same time. So basically for that, we need to understand one thing, right? Effort times resistance equals pain. So the effort you put in times the resistance that you feel from your current self because it doesn't want to do it equals pain. And you feel that pain, and guess what? That pain is the current self's poison. The current self's poison. The objective here, the goal, is to kill metaphorically this guy to become this guy. But how do we do all that? Pain is very important. We need to stay in pain, not necessarily physically, but in terms of doing the work. It just feels hard because we put in the effort in, but our current self doesn't want to feel this, doesn't want to change, so it gives us resistance. It fights with resistance, and we need to look at resistance. What exactly is it? How will it manifest, and all that? And based on this equation, create pain, and we need to get as much of it as possible in terms of doing the work. So if we look at the nature of resistance, we can see that it manifests through many things, right? So it can manifest through comfort, doubt, fear, perfection, because you think, oh man, nothing needs to be improved, the product is great, the videos are great, I don't need to put more work in, which is obviously false. Another type of resistance might be thinking that thinking that it will be mentally fatiguing. Basically, these and many others are forms of resistance that your current self uses to not let you the chance to change. And you feel your brain giving you these excuses, and resistance manifests for more things, which make you not feel like doing the work. That's what I learned from Charlie. How do we combat this this resistance? Number one is awareness, because once you awareness once you are aware of what is making you gives you the resistance, and what is the resistance itself, you just think, oh well, this is actually kind of stupid. I might as well do the work. So, for example, for me, for making these videos, sometimes I'm just thinking, man, I don't really feel like, or at least my mind is giving me these excuses of I don't feel like doing this because I think it will be too mentally fatiguing, because of understanding different concepts that I plan. Well, bro, I mean, to understand them, sometimes it's a bit tricky and it's weird because you gotta create from nothing a new concept and to be able to understand it. And that might be a form of resistance because it tells me, oh man, you don't feel like working. It doesn't tell it exactly this way, but it manifests for this resistance. Also, when I'm working on the product, this current one, well, I thought, oh man, it's perfect. It doesn't need improvements, or something like this. So I mean, or at least mentally, subconsciously, because this system of mine that I teach on discipline, self mastery, confidence, discipline is so valuable and helped me so much. But then I thought, oh wait, yeah, it's true, but the way of teaching it is not the best way. So I need to work on that. So basically, I had an ego problem. That I guess was the resistance, perfection, thinking that, oh, it's perfect already. No, it needed a bit some new improvements. And also, again, that thing of not losing brain points, not being mentally fatiguing. But guess what? Either way, that's a good thing because one, you get the work done, and two, even if you get mentally fatigued, you just go practice guitar, go in nature, do whatever you want for half an hour, 1 hour, relax your mind, right? Plus, you'll feel way better because you know you did work. So awareness is a simple way to quickly combat this because you're aware of it and you basically gain more control. In most cases, you get control. Now, step number two is intolerance, and and what it's meant by that is that once you are aware of this, you start immediately to work on the thing. So, for example, for me, if I'm working on the videos, and somehow I just don't feel like it because, or let's say scripting videos, doing some ideas for you to help you with. Well, bro, I mean, I need to think of and try to understand different concepts. And my mind might try to tell me that, oh no, it's not worth it, and try to make me not do the work because it feels kind of so once I'm aware of this type of resistance, I just say, nah, get out of here, and I just go and do the work immediately. Because think about it, when you do the work, that's effort, right? So work equals effort. And if you remember, effort times resistance equals pain. So, as you begin doing the work, you still have that resistance. Then multiplied, create the pain. And the pain, the more pain you are in, the more the current self is about to die, and therefore you are about to become your desired self, right? Die metaphorically, of course. So perhaps that's another reason why you have so much resistance for doing certain things, because the current self doesn't want to be healed. The current self wants to stay in comfort. It doesn't want to change. It wants to stay like this because your mind was adapted to it, is familiar to it, and it's not good for us though. I mean, we want to change, and we need to change. So this is how, again, it all looks. Again, this is a video idea from Charlie Morgan, so bro, if you watch this, thank you, because it's so valuable. So let me show you something. So you have your current self and its resistance, which tries to stop your desired self from achieving the goal. Now, of course, your goal, perhaps, as Charlie even said, is probably not to rescue women. Obviously, is probably to become, not just to be, but to stay your desired self, and to be able to do the work and be disciplined, remain disciplined. So basically, again, effort times resistance equals pain. Pain, and pain kills your current self. And guess what? Your weapon is the night. Your magical weapon is the work. It's the only thing basically that can stop all this. So step 1, awareness. Step number 2, intolerance. And you begin working so that you create this pain, so that you kill this guy and stay, well, and achieve your goal. But in our case, it's not, obviously not a process, but in our case is you might think, oh, but how to your desired self, how can you fight this current self to become the desired self? It doesn't make sense. Well, look, you use the weapon so that you have glimpses of discipline, right? You perhaps even the guy that is not disciplined has the traits or the capacity to do disciplined tasks for a while at least, right? And so we do this so that we create this identity, and then we become and fully and stay that desired self. And basically try to craft it here. This is crafting it, the weapon against this, and we become and stay our desired self by defeating this. So remember, resistance, you need to battle it with effort. And guess what, bro? If the effort is, let's say, X, and the resistance is 16, and let's say the pain is 64, right? Well, this times this equals this. But if you want to see how much effort we put in to find out what the effort is from this equation, is basically we need to divide these as you learn the math. So it would be pain divided by resistance, and that would be basically 64 divided by 16, and that's 4, which is effort, which is not good at all, because in this case effort is smaller, is weaker than the resistance. And so in that case, how do you expect you can work, right? So it's not good. So 4 is obviously smaller than 16 by 4 times, bro. So how do you expect to work it effectively in this scenario? It's not good. But instead, if we put here, instead of 16, we put 4, and then we change this. Well, because 64 divided by the resistance is 4, well, that would mean the effort is now 16. And that means that in this case, effort is greater than the resistance, because 16 is stronger, bigger than 4 by 4 times. So that's how it works. We need to maximize the effort, bro. We need to work on this stuff. The things you need to work on, bro. Those are the things you need to get this in, to understand this right. Also with homework, we probably all have it, right? I felt massive, pretty big resistance in terms of doing it. I was just thinking, man, I don't want to do it. I really would just work on my personal development, work on my habits. But again, it's resistance, so it's not good, bro. So the point is that I need to understand this, be aware of it, and the moment I realized it, I'm like, yeah, of course, let's do it. So for example, yesterday actually, I needed, for example, for a test today at biology, I also need to prepare some kind of flour, which created from something. For example, I created it from paper. And at the beginning, I was thinking, man, it might take a lot of time. I don't know. But then I just thought, oh wait, this is resistance, and so therefore, I just began working on it directly. Like, man, get out of here. And I just started working on the flower, and I just completed because I understand this. And so to become our desired self and to stay him, we need to fight the current self for effort. The more effort we put in, the more pain we create, and the more this current self just begins to die. How do we begin to like pain? Because this is what we need. And again, not physical pain, but psychological pain, because you're doing the work, but you get resistance, right? So the way I learned from Charlie is that we need more familiarity. I mean, we need to make the pain more familiar to the brain, because the way this works is that the brain, whatever it's familiar with, it begins to like more, even though you don't like it. I mean, basically, I know it sounds a bit weird, but basically, let's say this school year, I changed my classmates, and I did. Not because I chose it to, but it was like that. The class changed. And when I see now my old classmates of I think 9 years spent with them in school or somewhat like that, even though I'm not really friends with them and I don't really want to spend that much time with them, and I don't really do that at all, well, my brain still because they're more familiar to my brain, it's just more of a feeling of it's a more of a positive feeling. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but your brain just likes that more compared to the new thing, because you are more familiar with that. So we need to become more familiar with pain. Again, how do you get pain? Effort times resistance. So you feel that resistance, you need to work directly on it, and with time it will become better. You'll get more self-control. Now we have controlling your body, which Charlie calls the general's perspective. Let's say let's say your body is the soldier and you're the commander, the general, and you tell your body, okay, do this though. Fair enough, you probably don't actually say that, but you get the point. You give it a command. You gotta go do this thing. I mean, and the body perhaps feels resistance to it, or the mind or the body, you get the point. Your current self, basically. And let's say you need to run 5 kilometers. Well, bro, let's say you get to kilometer 3, and the body just starts to give you more and more resistance. It just wants to quit. But you want to get to 5 kilometers because that was the goal. You don't feel like it, but you want to. There's two different things, all right? So don't confuse them. This is not what you want. Oh, feel like I don't feel like it. This is not what you want. What you actually want is a goal. And so the body doesn't want to get to the goal. But what you need to do is tell your body and tell yourself in general, okay, well then what about doing 7 kilometers instead of 5? And your current self, when he hears that, or whatever, when you hear that, your mind, your body, it just doesn't want to do even 7. It barely wants to do 3. So it will be more likely then to do 5. Do you see how this works? So if it feels resistant to 7, try to make it do 9. And bro, it's basically like, I think I heard this in sales as well. Basically, the salesman saying that, bro, if you have two variants or two options for the customer, let's say the customer in this case is the body, well, bro, he will be more likely to choose the two, instead of, for example, compared to the example when you have just one offer, which is just 5 kilometers, because it's either that or it doesn't buy the product. It doesn't basically the body just quits, doesn't want to do that. But if you have two options, which is basically 5 kilometers and 7 kilometers, and perhaps add more, well, then the body will choose one of them because you're determined to continue, and you give your body options, either do 3 kilometers, 5 or 7 or 9, and the body will just be more likely to do it. And I used it myself, bro. When I was working out, I was doing, I think, calf raises, and in general for the workout of training legs, I think I was with my grandparents, and this works massively, truly. I mean, you gain more control of the body, but of course, don't go to the extreme in terms of working, I think, 20 hours a day, 16, 20 hours a day, because obviously, as the Charlie said, the soldier can just one time shoot with a gun the general when the general doesn't look, and basically that manifests through burnout, which obviously most of us didn't go through. Most of us think, oh, burnout, but bro, we're not even close, bro. I mean, Charlie, for example, Charlie Morgan and many other guys, they work, what, 15, 16-hour days more, and they literally got burned out. They got brain fog. They couldn't think properly. They were not energized for like a month, I think, or so, or more. But we're not there, bro. So we can give our bodies more commands. Remember, take notes. So go right away and take at least screenshots and then notes of these slides, because they're super important, or slides, whatever, you got the point, the stuff that was on the board. Go take these notes right away, and if you're interested in developing your discipline, confidence, consistency through a system that is like literally perfect for that, you can get on my coaching program. The link is in the description. So for the first 3 guys is free. If you want to join there, it's super valuable, bro, because this is literally what helped me a lot. And you can get there if you want to. If you don't, either way, I hope you got great value from the video, man. Make sure you share this to multiple guys. And again, thank you, Charlie, for sharing this obviously with me, so that I can share it with you, because it's such a good topic. Once you understand this, bro, once I begin to understand this, I'm like, of course, bro, you just become more, you make the unconscious conscious, right? You don't no longer attempt to just let the subconscious make you get out of the work. Once you make it conscious, think that, oh, here you are, basically the specific thought and the resistance. You just eliminate it and just do the work. That's it. That's what I learned about this, and it works very well. Now again, remember, we're limitless because we never peak if we so choose to, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I keep on working, got purpose and worth. Music's my cure and this world is my purse. Get rid of this curse with every verse. Of course I've been hurt, but some have been much worse. Leave me alone, get out of my head. Block out the opinions until I am dead. They all go to sleep, but you listen instead. Listen some more and you'll cease to regret. I keep on working, I got it on track. You gonna see my name up on the flag. I sail the ship and I'll never come back.